Managing emotions under times of threat, uncertainty, and stress. Stress is part of life. Stress can either be positive or negative. It's going to trigger all kinds of emotions. And what we have to do as a secure-based leader, be able to manage those emotions, self-leadership, and then help influence the emotions of other people, just like hostage negotiators do to get that 95% success rate. So first of all, let me explain a little bit about emotions. There are basically 4 emotions: anger, fear, sadness, and joy. Now we can extend that out by some research, but those are the core. And those go through a process of charging and then being held as tension and then being discharged and then leading to a point of relaxation. Emotions are essential to well-being. We have to give recognition to our emotions. And it's very important to be able to put words to emotions, label emotions. Right now, we're going through, as a culture, as a society, all kinds of grief reactions. And grief reactions include anger, that I'm angry about not being able to do this or that. Sadness, I'm sad that I'm missing this, I can't do this. Or fear, what's going to happen? Or more unlikely, to feel joy. It is possible in these times of stress to also be able to feel joy, to come back and have a sense of what this actually is teaching us in terms of meaning and purpose and learning. Now, let me give you a short story to help demonstrate how secure bases and emotions go together. My youngest son was about 5 years old and got stuck in an elevator. It was terrifying for him. He really, really was traumatized by this. After telling me the story at the end of the day, I thought, okay, well, maybe it'll pass. The next day when I wanted to go to the elevator with him, he said, absolutely no, Dad, I will not get on that. And his whole body froze. It was a paralyzed state of stress. Now, as a father, how do I handle this? How do I deal with that stress when he feels so threatened by an elevator? Well, it was very simple. First of all, to make sure that they had corrected the elevator, that it was safe. And then be able to take him into that elevator by holding his hand and say, the elevator will not get stuck. The elevator is your friend. He reluctantly followed me, changed his state, changed his emotion. And when we were in the elevator, I explained to him the elevator is our friend. And so he started to talk to the elevator as, you are my friend. He changed his whole emotional state, his whole way of seeing that elevator. When he got off, he waved to the elevator and said, goodbye, friend. And when we came back later that day, he said, Dad, let's take our friend the elevator. And this was some, I would say, 18 years ago, and he still remembers that as a positive memory and how he altered the way his emotions were working. So as a leader, you have to be able to stand up, manage your own emotions. Did I lie to him that that elevator would not get stuck? I don't think so. Because if I say, well, there's only one chance in 5 million that you'll get stuck, what's he going to pay attention to? That 1 million. So we have to be able to create the reality. And what happens if we would have got stuck again? First of all, it was not likely because I checked that everything was fixed. And secondly, then if we were in the dark in the elevator, the darkness would be your friend. And I would be there helping him influence the way he interpreted that experience. So as a leader, you have to be able to understand your own emotions, be aware of them. If you're in a state of grief, whatever emotion, be aware. Secondly, accept. If you don't accept that that's the reality, you're limited by what you're able to do. And then thirdly, take action. Action is part of emotions. Emotions has as its fundamental foundation movement. So you have to be able to move, be able to react, be able to do something to overcome any negative emotions. The worst outcome to emotions is what is called an amygdala hijack. And an amygdala hijack is the paralyzing that can happen, or saying things that you later regret, or do things that you later regret. Amygdala hijacks have to be avoided at all costs. And you can do that very simply by being aware, accepting, and acting in an appropriate way. In addition, be aware that the coronavirus is definitely affecting emotions, whether it is at a conscious level or even at a subconscious level. So being able to manage your own feelings about the coronavirus and be able to influence the emotions others have about it. Remember, people have to express, put words, label what emotions are. As a leader, secure-based leader, you have to be able to listen to what those emotions are. Even if you think they're crazy, even if you think they're unacceptable, there is no perception that you can judge negatively. You have to be able to listen and differentiate between accepting something and disagreeing with something. For many people, when you don't agree with an emotion, arguing about it will do no good. So accepting is different than agreeing, and being able to move into a dialogue. And the coronavirus is something that definitely has to be discussed.